This is Valdez. Dug hit on in the open. Quincy Smith nearly fully recovered from that hip injury he sustained before their conference tournament. And there's Bobbitt. Nice response after that errant three.
Yeah. Roderick Bobbitt threw that first jump shot off this. He missed by a yard, but he's such a confident kid. Next time he got it, he attacked and hit a little floater in the lane.
From Cal.
Now Bobbitt just attacking Sam Singer off the dribble, and as Cal will switch defensively, Singer.
Kingsley Okoro, 7-footer, who's been a starter for much of the season, now checks in for Brooks. Here's Yankovic, going glass, right around Rab for the lefty finish.
That's where Rab, as much as he's pretty good at moving his feet laterally, Yankovic is so talented as a shooter, I think he got him off balance. Both coaching staffs, if you go back to Mike Montgomery's coaching staff, believed in him. His confidence wavers, though, and that's the big question for the Bears heading forward.
That is Yankovic, the player of the year, again in the Big West Conference, 4 points. And you talk about a jump from one year to the next. What a player he's become in his junior season. Okoro is fouled. And Yankovic, with a look of bewilderment of the official.
Now Yankovic going to work. Ivan Rab, very talented, but very thin. Not strong enough yet, even for the high major college level. That's the one weakness to his game and forward. So even though only Jordan Matthews is a shooter, they're a much quicker, more athletic team.
Yankovic, too much inside for Rab. It's coming up for Cal.
Let's take a look at how they clear out space for Yankovic as he sets the screen, and then look, nobody home here on the weak side. No help, almost like the triangle offense, where you bring all the help up off the weak side and throw the ball into the bucket.
Foul. Here comes Singer, probing defense underneath, pass off the hands of Brooks, and taken by Tumala.
See, there's nobody to pass to. There's no space within this Cal offense.
Nice find underneath, Bobbitt to Tumala for the deuce. A fifth turn for offense here. There's some different lineups than they've been used to. Smith able to jar it loose from the back. Rab diving for it, and the officials say backcourt violation. So the Rainbow Warriors from Hawaii making an early statement, forcing their 5th steal of the half. Right now the Golden Bears look like they're in some disarray. Mentioned the absences of some key players as Bobbitt hits an awfully long floater off 1 foot. Cal just 1 field goal in the last 4+ minutes as Hawaii moves back in front. There's another 1-1 for the Bears.
Roderick Bobbitt, who played his best in his biggest games this year, most notably in a close loss to Oklahoma, with the left foot floater from about 17. I'm not sure that's in the play chart, but you'll take it.
Sharif Dramé, the freshman from Stockholm, Sweden, in for the first time. Quincy Smith. This is Jovanovic. Lefty back. Why not?
He had a wide open jump shot.
First 2 months of the season.
That's Jovanovic. He doesn't shoot an open jump shot as Steve Domingo kind of psyched him out. Instead, takes a dribble in there and throws it off the glass.
Foul charge to, again, if you've just joined us, Jabari Bird, one of the usual starters for Konzo Martin. Under the weather, did not make the start. We have yet to see him in his first half. Yankovic, soft touch. Hawaii has hit 4 straight shots. Their lead back to 3.
Well, first, let's take a look at Yankovic as he faces up, almost Dirk Nowitzki or Jack Sikma style. And then defensively,
half of the senior out of Oakland. This is Jaylen Brown. Offensive foul. Runs right into Dramé. And that is the 2nd on Brown.
Arizona ends the game on an 11-0 run. It was because of plays like this. Jaylen Brown, super talented, more of a scorer slasher than he is shooter.
Yankovic. Good defensive resistance underneath. Here comes Jaylen Brown. Dramé. That's the 2nd charge he's drawn.
Jaylen Brown has had this problem all year. It's his third personal fouls. Conzo Martin doesn't like it, but that's actually a good call, and here's why. May is the primary defender. You can actually move laterally if you establish yourself as the primary defender. That's a good call. Jaylen Brown has to learn, stop and shoot the basketball or pass it out. 5,000 miles from home. It's still not even 11 o'clock in the morning in Oahu. Doesn't seem to matter because the Bows hanging loose in Spokane, trying to shock the Bears. That basketball out. And keep an eye on Ivan Rabb. His reputation throughout high school, AAU, and colleges raises his level to the level of the game.
And there is the answer at the other end from Quincy Smith. With this week, and some early looks here at Stefan Jankovic for Hawaii.
Jankovic, the Big West Player of the Year for a reason. He can shoot the three, he can drive you, or he can take you in and post you up and do some work down where the big uglies roam. Stefan Jankovic living up to the billing as a versatile scoring for the Bows.
Other interesting thing about Hawaii, they found out in late December that the NCAA had handed down some sanctions and will be ineligible for postseason play next year as Bobbitt cans a three. And so that kind of became their rallying cry, especially for the juniors, some of the players behind them that we want to experience March Madness. This is our chance.
Yeah, 3 head coaches in 3 years for this team.
Short rebound cleared underneath by Jankovic.
Now, the one thing about Jordan Matthews, as talented a scorer as he is, he will take bad shots.
Smith at the other end. First 2 points for Smith. Cal wants a timeout. Right now, Doug's still just trying to get their feet under him and figure some things out.
And Jaylen Brown checks back in, super talented freshman of the year in the Pac-12, but he has 2 personal fouls.
They've got a couple of key guys with 2. Matthews, Brown, and Singer, all with 2 personals. Well, first round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins today on ESPN2 and watch ESPN. For more information on game times and listings, visit ncaa.com. Three-pointer for Mute Bidius. Now the Rainbow Warriors the other way. Hawaii has missed 5 straight shots. Smith fouled on a reverse, and he'll shoot 2.
But not a high percentage of threes.
I feel like there's a butt count.
I don't feel like they're at the level of some of the top 5 or 6 teams athletically. Their guards struggle to get a step a little bit. But look, there's going to be something Philly in that second round matchup. Either Temple, who they destroyed earlier this season, another Big 5 matchup in the second round, or Iowa, who of course is coached by a Philly legend in Fran McCaffrey. Ivan Rabb can get you buckets without running offense.
Rabb's got 9.7 boards. Jovanovic to Mulla, rattles in. First bucket for the Rainbow Warriors since the 6:58 mark of the half.
Now the Rainbow Warriors have made it a case to hang around as Sal Tamala hitting a bucket. They're up 4. Nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Down to 20 seconds. Shot clock down to 10.
Your corner professors are so proud right now.
This is Bobbitt. Jankovic. Bobbitt with 3 to shoot. That's a long 2, and he strokes it. Here's the rest of our TBS crew. First of our quadruple header here in the Pacific Northwest. And this has been awfully interesting to say the least. Jankovic. So good with his feet and that soft touch.
And that's what I was talking about. Stretch out the Cal big guys. Jankovic, even though he's gotten them into foul trouble, he can shoot that basketball, and he's had an advantage when he's facing up 20 feet from the basket.
This is a team that has been on the road for the last 3 weeks. Shot clock down to 5. This is Bobbitt. Tiptoes the baseline, sneaks underneath, nifty reverse. 11 for the senior from Oakland. Start. Now Jovanovic replaces him. This is Valdez. Underneath. Jovanovic is blocked, but a foul call that's on Rooks from the back. And a lot of pressure on this kid, Stefan Jovanovic, the junior, also out of Serbia. Not nearly as skilled offensively. And so he has to step up now with Jankovic on the bench with 4.
I didn't think that was a foul. I thought that was a pretty good block. Part of the issue was Cameron Brooks wasn't back defensively to build a wall.
Third personal on Brooks.
But the third personal on Brooks doesn't hurt you as bad as the fourth foul on Jankovic. Jankovic, so versatile, conference play of the year in the Big West, but also he can shoot inside and shoot out. Makes Hawaii much more difficult to contend with Cal's on defense.
Well, we've been talking about it right from the jump. Tyrone Wallace, broken bone in his hand, out for the duration of the tournament. And Jabari Bird, back spasm sustained in warm-ups today as Aaron Valdez builds on Hawaii's lead now, up 11, biggest of the afternoon. Nice backdoor cut, Valdez. Blocks, but a foul. That's on Jaylen Brown. That's his fourth.
Here's that inbounds play. It's called an ATO. And after the timeout, they empty out the help, screen down, and Aaron Valdez, a former walk-on, a water polo player. Dad's a water polo coach, played water polo growing up, walked onto the Hawaii team. You see the 38-inch vertical leap.
Former All-American water polo player, credits his swimming and training for that sport for his 43-inch vertical jump.
I read 38, you read 40, 43, I think it's a one step.
We put all of that on display during that previous sequence. So now Jaylen Brown picks up 4. I mean, this couldn't get any worse if you're Conzo Martin with the guys that are missing. Doesn't appear as though Jabari Bird's going to play. And right now,
we're missing 2 guys against a good Hawaii team. They'll take it. For Hawaii, can they find offense without Janovich on the floor?
No points for the Rainbow Warriors in the last 4+ minutes. Valdez, tough turnaround, awfully pretty. Big West Tournament MVP, averaged 17 and 7. Not to mention nearly 5 assists. He's got 8 today.
Aaron Valdez, we mentioned former All-American water polo player. He's got a little bit of a mouse in the house. Sam Singer's not small, but compared to Valdez with his vertical leap. I like the roll of the dice for Conzo Martin. You get 5, use it.
Thomas off the inbounds. Rare defensive breakdown by the Golden Bears.
It's the second out of bounds, underneath out of bounds that Hawaii has scored on, and here's why. A little back screen, and are you switching? Are you staying home? And what is Sam Singer doing?
We saw their tournament bid end just yesterday.
Pac-12's taking on the chin so far. We'll see top seed Oregon later on tonight.
This is Smith going glass. Magnificent play by Smith. And a traveling violation on Brown, who continues to struggle.
Now watch Quincy Smith off the ball screen. He sees big Cameron Brooks, so he hesitates and then throws up a floater over Brooks, which is too high to block.
Jail 16. Hawaii by 4. This is Jovanovic. Inside Valdez. Thomas tips it in.
First, Jordan Matthews driving the hoop and finishing over Janovich, and then a little putback as Cal getting beaten at their own game.
And he's got the Rainbow Warriors right now up 4 against the 4th-seeded Cal Golden Bears. 8-minute mark, second half. This is Smith, probes the defense, and he banks it home. Smith, one of their senior leaders out of Antioch in the Bay Area. 6-point game. Came off the bench today. He's been a starter for the most part since January. This is Bobbitt. Finds his spot, and he goes glass. Not sure if that was the intent, but he'll take the deuce.
He thought he got fouled, and it was a horrendous shot, but hey, you just count it and run back down the floor. You don't even have to call back.
Well, as they say, it's better to be lucky than good. Hoping for some late game magic. The steal, 2-on-1. Smith. Hawaii's lead to 8.
5,000 miles from home. It's still not even 11 o'clock in the morning in Oahu. Doesn't seem to matter because the Bows hanging loose in Spokane, trying to shock the Bears. They need to play through Ivan Rabb and Jordan Matthews every time down the floor.
This is Mike Thomas on a 3, and he sticks it. But Thomas.
That was a foul.
This is a Hawaii team that came in so confident, felt like they could play with the big boys in Cal. As Quincy Smith going left, he's got 16 points. Hawaii by 8. Brooks trying to clean it up. Snatched away by Valdez. Hawaii in control, up 8. This is Jovanovic. Nice cut by Smith, and he's fouled by Matthews. Doug, they're not playing like a 13 seed, are they?
Well, just a brilliant cut by Quincy Smith. He just cut right in front of Jordan Matthews and would have had a layup. No, they're not. But this team's been through it now. Not just the travel, but also playing for, we mentioned, third head coach in 3 years. A lot of these kids well-traveled, whether it's junior college or 4-year transfers or 4-year to junior college out to Hawaii. They've been through it, and even going back to last year, playing for Benji Taylor, they still won 22 games. They found a way to kind of use everything that was going on outside the program to bind them together.
Quincy Smith tying his season high with 18 points. Those two kids right there, Bobbitt and Smith, both Bay Area kids, grew up in the shadows of Cal and Berkeley. What a moment this could be for them with 2.5 to play.
What a moment for the island of Oahu. Forget about that, for all the islands. Hawaii has never won an NCAA tournament game.
Still about 10 a.m. in Honolulu as Bobbitt backs it in. And right now they can sense it. Largest lead for the Rainbow Warriors.